welcome back to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies. Okay guys, this is a very unique episode. As you know, I've been opening Legally Blonde in Leicester, which we're going to talk about, but it means that we are one episode down. So we just thought, okay, let's just take a little week's break, you know, and have a catch up instead. So that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. I got one of those sticky things for my phone to like put on my mirror, and I love it. Got some new slippers for me and Rosanna because why the hell not? How cute are these? They're not the cutest things you've ever seen ever. And just for reference, we are doing our first show of an 8-show week tonight. So I had a day off yesterday. Wait, where was I going with that? I don't know. Key ingredients for any type of dressing room. How cute is this? My friend got me this for opening night. Pink and a pink. I'm also getting my nails done tonight after the show. Can you believe that? Someone's coming to my apartment. Look at that. Are you kidding? Let's get into the business. I moved to Leicester 7 weeks ago to start rehearsals for Legally Blonde the tour. Leicester's actually surprised me. It's really lovely, lovely places to eat. I've got quite a few good recommendations. Okay, that's how my day is going. Before we start the goss, please have a look at the gift that I got from the producers for opening night. Adorable. That's definitely going in my downstairs bathroom. You're not going to believe this. They got me Pradas. They got me full-on Pradas. When I came to my dressing room, basically I saw this was all wrapped up and I saw this is what it says on the card. We couldn't have you in last season's Prada shoes. Thank you for being the perfect heir. Love, Hamish, Tom and Royo. I said, Are you kidding? Me works for Royo for the rest of my life. We got a beautiful Delta Nu hat. How cute is that? You all know how much I love a notepad, so this is everything to me. And then we got a Delta Nu cap. Everything in my life is just slowly turning pink. But I'm here for it. I am genuinely here for it. That was for our press night. Oh, look what Hannah Lather got me as well for opening night. I'm kind of obsessed. Adorable. Firstly, I want to say our eps will be resuming as usual next week. This is just like a little unique episode and I kind of love it. I love when there's like something cute happens and then it's like, well, actually that's a lie. I tried to do a vlog. I'll get Poppy to put in some clips of what I did. Awful, terrible. Poppy was like, Amber, your your like phone chain is like banging against your phone, and Poppy, please enter that. Okay, so I'm just finishing my lip. So I'll try and do this whilst holding. I'm not a vlogger, okay? I'm a millennial. I mean, like, some girls on this job have, like, the full setup. It is so impressive. Like, a camera, a light. The only thing I did, which I feel quite Gen Z on, is I ordered, like, these things off Amazon. The only thing is with it is every single time I put my phone down, it freaking sticks to everything. I'm like, trying to get my phone up. Firstly, I want to say, I had 9 days off from the Strictly final to move into Leicester, and I have to admit, whilst I was doing Strictly, like, obviously I was saying out loud, oh yeah, I'm going to be playing Elwood's on the Legally Blonde tour, but I actually completely forgot that this big thing was happening in my life, and I was like actually going on tour for a year. So the day before, why do I want to cry? The day before I went on tour, I just like burst out into tears because I was like, it hit me that I was going on tour for a year and I wasn't going to see Ben and the dog. But anyway, I'm used to it now, and obviously not. Yeah, it just came at me really, really quick. Like, I was packing a case and I was moving to Leicester, and I was just like, whoa. And I was like still very much in recovery mode from Strictly. My body, my mind, my soul, my skin. Oh my God, grow the hell up, Amber. What a break, what a break. I've got to admit, this is the most enjoyable experience of a rehearsal process I ever did have. And considering was learning the L material, I really thought I was going to be more stressed out than I was, because I'm an overthinker. I'm an anxious girly, you guys know that. But I loved it. I felt no type of pressure. I felt no type of urgency. I wasn't stressed about learning my lines or the material. I was just like taking every single day as it comes. I was like bonding with the company, and I was really like okay. Like my pulse was okay, you know? I loved every single second of it. I love the fact that we have created this well-known musical once more from the ground up. Is like a very, very honourable situation to be in, because this is a musical that we all love and adore, like universally. And I've been a part of an experience of like putting my own DNA into it, and my own creative input, which is like, it's mental to me. It's mental to me that I've been part of this experience. Whoa. Yeah, I had a couple of big press days during rehearsals, and they were really successful. We sold a lot of tickets. That was really good, because obviously, like, you know, producers send you for a press day, and you know, I don't imagine they look at the ticket sales, one ticket sale, like, and you just think, but we sold loads of great tickets. It's really selling really well. So rehearsals happen. We did 4 weeks. Whilst we were in rehearsals, we got to do 2 studio runs, which was really good. Like, we weren't pushed for time or anything like that, you know what I mean? Also, I'm gonna look fairly mental during this, because I am going to be doing my face whilst I do this, because I'm going to get ready for warm-up. Then we did a zits probe, and I get terrified of zits probes. I don't know why. I think it's just because like there's always like quite a big audience. It's the first like big audience, not big audience, but like lots of external people come in, producers, you meet the band for the first time, every department is watching. Like, it feels like a lot of people are watching, but again, loved it. I absolutely loved it. I felt no type of pressure, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed singing the material. I don't know where this chilled mindset has come with me, because I'm not a chilled girl. I do think was the pressure and high stakes of Strictly so much. Any type of stakes in life will always be low, because nothing will ever be as hard as Strictly. So maybe it was a really good thing I did it in this lifetime, because now I'm like a normal human and I tackle things as a normal human, not like an absolute stress head. And then we did tech in the show. So firstly, I want to say, if you know the Elwood's track, you know that I do not leave the stage. And this tech-in process was not just us being put into a show. Like I said earlier, we're starting from the ground up. So tech-in was starting from scratch. The lighting, everything was starting from scratch with us on stage. It was like a 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. job on a couple of occasions. Elwood's is never in anything but a heel. Like a 6-incher as well. That was tough for the feet. That was really tough. I did end up in a slipper by the end of the evening, because at one point I felt like I didn't even have any toes on the ends of my feet. Do you know what? I thoroughly enjoy tech, and this might be a controversial, because it can be a bit of a slog, because you're in the theatre for so many hours, you don't see daylight, you know, it's one of those things in the musical theatre industry that you have to do. I love tech, but not when my feet hurt, because you go through the show so slowly to light it, you have a massive opportunity to kind of learn your show again for the second time, but in the correct space. Words, lines, choreography, like you have this precious time to go over everything in detail, maybe by yourself, but you can do that. It's a moment where you can basically learn your show again and like really get your feet into the material. Because obviously doing the show in a studio room compared to on stage, again, it's completely different. Also doing the show in your costume, like when you're teching, you have to be in your full costume. That's the first time you'll be wearing that costume, so you can like feel how you want to walk, and maybe you'll say that line a bit differently because you feel a bit different and you're in a different heel, so like the choreography is going to feel a little bit different, XYZ. The floor feels different, everything, like your perspective is different because you're looking into a sea of darkness. Like it's really beneficial. It can be a slog, but it's really beneficial. So we teched, big shift for Amber D, that was big huge shift, and then but obviously beneficial. So 6, 7 pros and cons. And then we did 2 dress runs into an opening night. Loved opening night, loved it. Well, it's opening night of previews, it wasn't press night. I was calm and collected. I did have butterflies, but I wasn't like normally, guys. I'm inconsolable on opening night. I'm like, nobody speak to me. I can't breathe, my palms are sweaty. Mom spaghetti. It was fine. I was very chilled, very calm. I don't know whether it's because I am like fully leading this show and I feel like, are people looking at me to see how I'm acting? And I feel like I have to be an example. Calm. Do you know what? I'll never forget. This is who I learned this from, but Jamie Moscato in Gatsby, because he was the lead. He was so chilled and it literally had a ripple effect through the cast. And I always remember thinking, wow, he doesn't even know how much he's helped me personally by being so chilled. And so I feel like I've low-key wanted to adopt that attitude and like just have a calm, chill energy within the cast. And then, so yeah, then that happened. Opening night was great. And then we do previews. Now, previews is a difficult situation because you are rehearsing in the day, the show in the day, making changes. You have to implement those changes into that show in front of an audience that night. So that was hard. That was hard because like I'm growing as Elle every day, but I'm still not 100% confident yet. You know, like I'm evolving every day naturally. Like no one is ever 100% confident until like the first month, I'd say. And I was running on fatigue, everything. Fatigue mind, fatigue voice, fatigue physically, spiritually, shattered. Healthy. Yeah, that was difficult. And then the whole social media thing happened. Basically, I think I kind of got cancelled on TikTok for like 48 hours. I'm like nearly 100% sure of that. I'm not 100% sure because we were like carried on with the previews and I didn't go on my phone, but I think I got cancelled because there was lots of people in my comments going, we've got your backhammer, and I was thinking, what are they talking about? Basically, I did a video because, and I want to speak more in depth about this, on our opening night, a video went viral. No, it wasn't even our opening night, it was our dress run. It was our dress run. A video went viral. Oh my god, guys, you should have seen the comments. It was commenting about our costumes, commenting about our wigs, commenting about the set, commenting about people's vocals, I think. And I did a TikTok that said, and I was like, nobody asked for your opinion. Cheeky. Anybody who knows me knows I am that Libra who sometimes just can't bite a tongue, and I need to learn how to bite my tongue. I do. Like I feel like I've bitten my tongue for a decade, so I do slip in some moments. But then it got turned into this whole situation of people saying that I don't care about audience's opinion, and I was like, no, guys, you're taking this out of context. I am coming for the people who have an opinion from a 20-second clip and who haven't even seen the show. That was where I was coming from. Anyway, I ended up deleting the video because I just thought, oh my God, this is really affecting my mental health and my peace. Because it's very easy for things to be misconstrued on social media. What I think is difficult about this whole situation, well, firstly, I've set a precedent for myself moving forward that I'm just not going to read people's opinions. Like, I'm not going to, if it says, come watch Legally Blonde with me or anything like that, I'm just not going to watch it. Obviously, my algorithm is just filled with them as well because I am in Legally Blonde, so my algorithm will give me what it thinks I want to see. Everyone has a freedom of speech and people will say their opinion, but I don't think people understand that actually what they're gonna say is gonna fall on the ears of the people that they're talking about. When you deep it like that, I think people would be less inclined to be mean, you know? Because this is what I think to myself: if you have the power to make somebody's day or ruin someone's day, I'd probably want to make somebody's day. Also, like, yes, it's people have their own social media and people want to, and people absolutely have a right to say their full opinion. You know, we're just exhausted. We're just trying to get from day to day and make everybody happy. So like, I've definitely been extra sensitive for sure, but it's just so accessible for everyone to see everyone's opinion and everyone's thoughts, and I think like there's something quite inhumane and insane about that. Do you know what I mean? For example, when Sheridan Smith did it however many years ago, like, she couldn't just pop online and see what people were thinking about her, you know? So yeah, I've set a precedent for myself. I'm not gonna go and seek that info because I'm happy with how I'm playing Elle and I love her, and audience reaction has been amazing. And that's all I can wish for, really. And I'm not ever going to be everyone's cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that cancellation happened. This is also whilst I was opening the show. My anxiety was at full brim, but it's kind of moved on now. And also, like, on the scale, if you zoom out of the scale of things, there are such worse things going on in the world right now. I'm not even going to talk about this again. It's a bit of singing and dancing, isn't it, really, about a made-up story. But we all love it, don't we? We love it. Then we did press night, and that I was absolutely terrified, guys. I could not eat a single thing. I could not eat a single thing. My mum came, my nana came, and my boyf, you all know him as the legend Ben Joyce, and my best friend Natalie Paris came, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. It was really successful. It was the most nervous I had been from doing a performance because there's just so many people, important people in the room, you know, who could potentially give you your next job. And as well, you want to really impress the creative team and the producers because they've given you this job, and you know, you have to pull through. Anyway, it was a great success. Everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. I am approaching Elle a little bit differently to what I've seen before, because basically, if I'm going to take Elle on tour for a year, I'm going to have to be able to relate to her in some way to keep it raw and genuine and organic and truthful. So I am humanizing her a lot more than other people have. And it's just my take on it. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, some people are going to want Laura Bell Bundy, and I am taking her in a different direction, and that's fine. And you know, theatre is subjective, so like, but I felt like I had a really massive input with Elle of like what she'd wear. Like Tom Rogers, the costume designer, he really asked me for my opinion, like, what do you think Elle would wear here? Or what bag do you think would be paired with that? What shoes would be paired with that? How do you think her hair would be styled here? What earrings would she wear in this scene? I had such an input. Like, I feel like my DNA is all over Elle, and I feel so unbelievably lucky. And then, so we did press night. Fantastic. Lots of people in the industry. Courtney Bowman came up, and she cried when she saw me after, and it's because we're so emotionally attached to Elle because she's such a darling, you know, and she's not a dumb blonde. She isn't a dumb blonde. I think that's what people think she is, but she's not. She's highly intelligent. She's unauthentically herself. When she wants something, she'll absolutely go for it. She has word vomit, and she'll say exactly how she feels. And she's in her own little world, in her own little bubble of all she's ever known. But she is not dumb. There's nothing dumb about Elle Woods. That is definitely a perception that is incorrect about her, in my opinion. I do want to talk about the cast as a whole. unbelievable. I always feel like I think I've said this about every single company I've been in, but why I struck gold with companies every single time. Company members, like from every single department in the building, 10 out of 10, no notes. Cast, unbelievable. Oh my God, the bug. Guys, I haven't even spoken to you guys about this. We had a bug in the curve. It's show 1, fine. The second preview comes along, three cast members off ill, 3. We had to do a cut show. We had to do a cut show on the second preview, and 2 of our swings were on show 2. And then 3 other company members go off who work in stage management. And then there was a quarantine period of 48 hours. If you had the bug, and I think it was like this way and that way, you're not allowed to come into work for 48 hours because they had to like spread this virus. And then people from Kinky Boots has got it because they're rehearsing here. And my God. And this is all during previews. So yeah, shout out to our swings. Wow, Lauren Hampton, Ollie flipping went on for Nikos. Wow, it was insane. And our poor company members who were poorly and were just like, guys, and they felt so guilty, but you can't help it. Like, you literally can't help it. And we're all in one big family. So like, if an illness goes around, like, it will spread like wildfire. That's why my loves, me washing my hands 15 times a day, like that. Knock, knock, knock on my dressing room door. Do you need to come in? Is it really important, or can you tell me from outside my door? Because I am trying to put myself in a bubble because I really don't want to get ill. And I think there's another company member gone down with it today. So it is still around and kicking. This virus is still around. The last thing I want to do is call off and disappoint audience members, especially if they've, well, not this people aren't coming just to see me, but like if they have, like I've met a couple of people at stage door and they're like, oh, we just booked to come and we went to go and see the Strictly tour, so we booked this to come and see you as well. You know, when you just think, oh my God, like little children are so cute. And also like, cover rehearsals haven't finished yet, and that is a very tricky, you can't be ill before the cover of your character has been teched in. I would feel really bad about that. Hannah Lather, although she'd be able to do it like that, I know she'd be ready in any situation. I had like my first full day off yesterday and I died. RIP. Funeral was held for me. I felt like my muscles were being removed from my bone. I felt like I couldn't physically speak, I couldn't think. I think I actually slept for like 15 hours. I died. RIP. I do feel better today, kind of. What fills me with anxiety is we're going into like a really busy week. And because I'm starting the week off on the back foot, that always kind of fills me with anxiety. But then as soon as we leave Leicester, we go into a normal schedule. No extra outside curriculum, because like we're filming an EPK this week, all day Tuesday, all day Thursday. We've got a double on Wednesday, so it's a busy time. 1 week, Amber, you can do it. Amber, you can do it. And do you know what? If I have to take a show off, I have to take a show off. I need to be kinder to myself. I'm literally like, no, Amber, you do it. You do everything. You can't say no to anybody. Like, if I have to take a show off, I'll take a show off. But I really have to be on my deathbed for that. But I can. She's a bit tired. She's a bit tired. We have 1 more week in Leicester. Busy week. Rude. Sorry. We have a really busy week. And then I'm driving home on Saturday night after the double. No, I'm not. I'm getting a taxi home. And I get to sleep in my own bed. Tears come to my eyes. Tears come to my eyes. I get to sleep in my own bed. I haven't slept in my own bed for 7 weeks. I feel like it's going to be the most rewarding thing in the world. And then Southampton, here we come. And then we do Sheffield. Oh my God, my greys are insane. What? Guys, look at my greys. Can you see that? Look at that. Look at my, oh! Guys, no. Wait, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I am 30 this year. Oh no. And then normal schedule, thank God. And then Sheffield is my first 7 show. Celebration music. So I feel like all of this hard work is actually training me in good stead for the rest of the year when I just do 7 and Hannah does the alternate show on a Thursday matinee. I have the What's on Stage Awards soon. I'm well nervous about that. I don't think I'm going to win. I think Victoria Hamilton Barrett's going to win. Come in! Oh. Oh my gosh, guys, look who's here.
Hello.
It's my onstage love of my life.
Hey, oh, called stage, let's go. What's happening?
Nothing, I've been chatting for 32 minutes, so you've come at the perfect time.
You want some quick fire questions?
Well, no, come and sit with me whilst I just ask you some personal questions.
Can I do your makeup?
No. George Crawford plays Emmett Forrest.
I was trying up the stairs.
He did. How do you feel? How do you feel about opening? And it's been a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, I think taking and opening the show in a week is pretty good going. To say where we've got the show to now is pretty good. We've said loads of times, like, we're very lucky that, for me anyway, all my stuff's with you. So
yeah.
I am feeling a bit like, oh, I have to come on stage and go, I'm just going to have a laugh with Amber.
And we just lock in like that.
Yeah, the track's really nice.
Oh, you got a beautiful track.
I'm not on for 25 minutes, then come on and do one number, and then you pass the dog to me. And then I come on and do Chip, and then it's basically the end of Act 1 for me. And then Act 2, we just...
Act 2, you're on a lot.
Yeah.
Act 2 is
it's a
very...
lot of observing.
It was so
Interesting that
cute.
you've not shown your desk.
What?
Interesting that you've not shown anyone what your desk looked like, because I think people would turn off the video.
Guys, how cute is this, right? On opening night, on press night, sorry, Ben came to watch the show along with Amy Fisher, who is George's fiance, like literally marrying soon. Didn't Ben break down into blubber? Yeah. He came into my room and he was sobbing his eyes out, and then he went to George. He cried throughout the whole of Chip. I think it's really nice for Amy and Ben to see us working together, because I've worked with Amy, you've worked with Ben.
Yeah, but me and Ben working together was just picking up dog poo.
They worked at West End Tales together, which is so cute.
I've also spoke to Ben, and he just said it's just so nice to know that I've got your back on tour as well, just as you have mine.
Yeah, exactly. And like, look, I'm not perfect, right? And I have my own anxieties, and it's so nice because I previously worked with George. I don't have to explain everything to him about like how my brain works. Like, you know me and I know you. Yeah. So it's a massive comfort blanket.
Yeah. How are you feeling? Because my track's pretty easy compared to yours.
I feel like I've been hit by a bus. But I just said to them, like, it's really good training for the tour, because I'm going to go into a 7-show a week and feel like that is friggin' easy after what we have just done. But I feel a lot less anxious this week. I actually was skipping into work today because I'm like, how fun that we get to do this as a job.
I can just imagine you skipping down.
I was skipping down Leicester Street like that. Like, oh yay. I mean, you can check in with me in a couple of days. I probably won't be saying that.
After the EPK.
Yeah, I was saying we have like a massive week this week.
Yeah, but it'll be good. It'll be fantastic.
Also, like, the fact that this touring production gets an EPK, is that a bit unheard of?
Yeah, we didn't do it for Waitress. It's also mad because it's selling incredibly well.
Yeah.
That the EPK normally is there to go, come watch. But loads of venues, it's limited availability. It's fantastic for us, especially when we're going, if we're having any up or down days, knowing that you've got a full audience. It makes such a difference to your show.
But do you know what I think it is as well? You know when you walk into a theatre and there's televisions everywhere? Do you remember in Gatsby, when we did Gatsby, there was televisions all in the foyer and they would play the trailer?
From the Broadway cast?
No, it wasn't. It was us.
Oh, right.
It was us. It was Broadway at the start and then it was us. But I think that's another thing for an EPK as well, is to put it in the TVs of the theatre foyers for people to see before they come in. And
also, do you know what's been really nice? Seeing how many young girls and boys and everyone's just coming to watch the show. And it's like, for so many people, it'll be their first show to watch.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially for you, what an amazing opportunity for people to watch you as their leading lady and go, wow, I want to do this, because you're fantastic. And, you know, you will make a lot of little girls' dreams feel like it could be a reality.
It can be a reality. That's why I even started Call to Stage, because I want it to be an educational platform for people who don't live in London and don't have access to Sylvia Young. You know what I mean? Like, I came from this rural town My mum bloody had no idea where to start. So
Yeah.
I want everyone to know that this is a doable career, but you have to be sure you want to do it.
Yeah.
You
It
do.
came to me really late. I was doing my GCSEs and I went, I don't know what I'm doing, mate.
And then what, did you just start singing in the shower and then thought...
I always did like Amdram and stuff.
Yeah.
And my nana, who's watching the show today, was my dance teacher. I
Oh.
went to her dance school and she used to choreograph all the shows. And no, but as in like, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it as a career. I just quite enjoyed doing it. And it was, my mum went, well, there's a performing arts college in Wakefield, so why don't you go and look at that? And then I went, oh, this is cool. And I think the difference was when you're doing like GCSE drama,
Yeah.
and you got people there who think it's just basically a free lesson
Yeah.
or just messing around, you're like, oh, well, no one's really taking it seriously.
Yeah.
But then when you go to somewhere when everyone's like, I really want to do this as a career, it completely changed my outlook on performing in general.
On the industry, yeah. It's beautiful. You just have to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work.
Also, it takes some people a long time to actually go,
You know what?
I do want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Or people go, actually, I don't. Or they take a break and then go, I'm ready to go back into it now.
Exactly.
I don't think there's any like right or wrong way.
No, and do you know what?
entering it.
Do you know how I know that? It's because I've done 100 episodes, George.
Of God's sake.
Not one episode is the same in any capacity. 100 episodes of 100 different stories of how people came into this industry. There's no right or wrong way in any shape or like form.
But also, like, even when you're in it, then your journey is going to be completely different. There'll be some people who will go straight into a show and then will have 15 months out. There'll be some people who won't work for 2 years and then will work consecutively for 3.
Yeah.
It's a mental, fickle, crazy thing that we love to do.
Yeah.
But then when you're doing it, it's fantastic.
All right then. Well, thank you so much for coming in and
You're more than
entertaining.
welcome. Do you need anything?
Oh, isn't he lovely?
See, it's only for the camera.
Yeah. Normally he.
If you were throwing you off the chair.
Okay, guys. So I think that is the end of. I can't believe I've been speaking for 45 minutes. I'm so glad George just came in. Go into Amy and his wedding in April. I'm gonna be a mess because I just love them both so much, and I just feel so grateful I'm doing this with them. Who do I want to shout out? I want to shout out. This is my award. Okay. Firstly, I want to shout out Nikolai Foster and Leah Hill because they are the best creators I've ever worked with. Also love you, Dom Kelly from Gatsby, choreographer. I want to say thanks to my mum for looking after the dog for me. I want to say thank you to Poppy for editing this video so wonderfully and like so Gen Z-y. I want to say thank you to this Nando's. I want to say thank you to Ben for being so chilled and calm all the time. And I want to say thank you to my vocal folds for sustaining the last, I feel like 10, I think I had a 10 show week last week as Elle Woods. I think that's everything. I love you all so much. Thank you for, I've actually thoroughly enjoyed this check-in and I will see you next week for a very good episode. Love you all.